ridiculous. A lot of my videos have been centered around this topic, and I'm going to keep doing that as long as, I'm still passionate about it. But I'm watching a video, or not a video, a TV show on marijuana. It's Marijuana Chronicle. Marijuana: A Chronic History. So basically, it's just giving the historical basis for a lot of why a lot of things are the way that they are concerning this drug. And it's almost frustrating to watch some of these things because they're painting a pretty unbiased picture. Actually, I'm really impressed with the way that they're doing this documentary because they give both the goods and the bads. They're interviewing police officers and this is why we think it should be illegal, and they have a lot of good points. But the truth of the matter is, it is ridiculous that something like this is illegal. And whether you agree with it on a moral level or whatever, the stats speak for themselves. They just said 10% of American adults use it. 1/3 of college kids use it, and half of high schoolers. Those numbers are staggering. Half? A third? When can you get 1/3 of people to agree on anything? 1/3 of people. That is incredible. And the fact that we criminalize it, and when they arrest people, so you're an officer. Let's say you're trying to get people, you're trying to meet your drug quota or whatever, and you're going to search out people who are doing this drug. That's your job. Your job is to make sure that the drug doesn't get out of hand. So therefore you have to ensure that you're arresting the people who are doing this. So it forces you to stereotype. It forces you to sit there and be like, well, I wonder who's doing it. And the fact of the matter is, the majority of people who walk past you, let's say that you're an officer, you're on the street corner, you're like, I'm gonna wait till someone walks past me that looks like they're high, that looks like they're doing something wrong, because then I need to say something. But the fact of the matter is, 1 out of every 3 people, statistically, who walk past you have done it. Maybe not in that instance, but are criminals in the legal sense. They have broken the law. And so these people are just walking past you, and you're just so oblivious to it. 1 out of every 2 high schoolers, and you're oblivious to it. So it forces you to stereotype, when the fact is, all races use it equally. I just gave you the breakdown of age. It's whether you agree with it or not, people do it. Whether you think it's wrong or not, people do it. Whether you think it's healthy or not, people do it. This isn't... You can try to put, oh, well, we need to worry about the healthcare system. That's not your worry. As an officer, even a person in politics, you need to... Yes, we need to fix our healthcare system, but that... the fact of the matter is, people are doing it. For you to say, oh, well, we can't legalize it because it'll put undue stress on our healthcare system, whatever, it already is. People are already smoking it. It's not making it, you're going to make it more widely available, and of course more people will use it, but the fact of the matter is, people are already using it. The burden that's felt by the healthcare system is already there. It's not something that's just going to come out of nowhere and just... As soon as we make it legal, boom, our healthcare system is going to crash because you have all these people that just have all these chronic diseases. No. The people who are being seen for lung cancers and all this, they're already, this has been a thing for a while. It's absurd to think that, we're so morally... The fact of the matter is, look, we have alcohol... that is pretty bad for you. In fact, I just was drinking last night, and I can't even remember what I did. It got to a point, I woke up in my bed, I was like, when the hell did I fall asleep? How did I get in my bed? Everything was cleaned up. Not that I had a rager, but I had no idea how everything got done. Look, memory loss. That's alcohol. Alcohol, you can get belligerent. You can die. Like, what's the legal limit? 0.08. I mean, past point 0.3, like you're getting to the point where you need to go to the hospital. Like you cannot function after that level. You're gonna black out. That's four times the amount of what is considered illegal enough to drive. That's absurd. Caffeine. The withdrawal symptoms for caffeine are pretty bad. The feeling that you get, like, caffeine's a drug, and we use it so frequently. I mean, fuck Starbucks. Like, literally, Starbucks, Dunkin', like, people go and get these things, and this is part of their everyday routine, and it is a drug. We have over-the-counter prescription drugs, which, they, like fluoxetine, I think the actual name is Prozac, so it's designed to treat depression, anxiety, but the list of its side effects are ridiculous. Nausea, headaches, diarrhea, bipolar, it can induce bipolar. It's just all these things that are just horrible for you, and because the FDA has looked through it and it's like, you know what? The consumer can make their own choice, whether they can weigh the benefits versus the risks and decide one day if the benefits outweigh the risks, then they're going to do it. And the fact of the matter, why can't we do that with marijuana? Why can't we just say, look, let's give people education, let's regulate it, let's tax it. And if they decide to do it, they decide to do it. Why do we have to babysit people? Because the truth of the matter is, there are a lot of crimes that are linked with marijuana, but like, if you've ever smoked, I mean, honestly, the crime that is associated with marijuana is this perceived threat, when the fact is there really is no threat. I mean, if you're just walking around smoking a joint, like you don't want to do too much. In fact, you're probably just going to go home, first you're going to go to the store and buy food because you're probably hungry as hell. Then you're going to go home and watch a trippy movie and have some crazy conversations with your friends. That is all that you're going to do. You're not going to go up and rob someone. Fuck, I would freak out. Like, you would freak out if you were put in a situation like that and you were high. Period. So you have these people who are being arrested because of a perceived threat that has been just made up out of air because, the powers that be want to keep it illegal. But the truth of the matter is, like, you actually don't want to do anything. It's not like cocaine where you're like, oh my god, like, if you've ever seen The Wolf of Wall Street, like, it's not like that where you're just going crazy. No. You want to sit down, you want to do nothing with your life, or for that particular instance. Or, I don't know, I write a lot of stories when I'm high. I mean, that's just what I tend to do, so it's something that's calming for me. I mean, when I smoke, it honestly does pretty calm me down a lot. It's allowed me to, not that I've had some pretty, like, difficult times in my life, but it's allowed me to just kind of deal with things as they come up. I mean, I can certainly deal with it without it, but it's one of those things. It's like, well, it's so harmless, like, why not? And that's honestly how I perceive it. And for someone who's like, well, you're destroying your life, there are hundreds, thousands, millions of ways that we just destroy our lives every day. Why not let me destroy my life with, first of all, it doesn't really do that. I mean, it has carcinogens. But all these studies are, at best, for anyone who's taken stat, at best is a casual correlation. Like, all the studies that are on, like, lung cancer, lung disease, the correlation, the p-values on these are ridiculous. They're like 0.2, 0.25, which means that, for people who don't take stat, that means that there is just almost no correlation between these things. And if it is, it's so small that there are so many other variables that could in fact it could in fact affect the study. So the fact of the matter is, there are so many other things that we do daily that are known to just hurt us. And if you're so morally, there that you're like, you know what, I don't do any of those things, well, that's good for you. I mean, I hope you enjoy your life. And I'm sure that there are people who can do that, but like, the fact of the matter is, it does not matter if you think that there are some people who just think that everyone should live this perceived life, but the fact is we're all different. We're all different, and okay, people want to do this. Don't go again, because people are breaking the law, and it's to the point where I don't even care. I don't even care that I'm breaking the law anymore. And I have a respect for authority, but there are certain things that if it is not right, then I won't respect it, period. And this is not right. So, I get so flustered over this. Because, I mean, my mom gets on me about certain things like this, and it does not make sense. It doesn't at all. And it's turning a lot of people, a third of college students are lawbreakers. And why do we even pretend like the war on drugs is working? Why? I mean, we can argue for other drugs, but there are people who would say not. I'm in the camp that you should just make all drugs legal, regulate it, get the information out there, because people who want to do it are going to do it anyways, and you're just making it like more dangerous for them to do it. But especially marijuana. It's just the fact that it is just so widely used. It doesn't make sense that we even pretend like criminalization is working. And what it does is it just keeps these racial stereotypes. It, wastes a lot of money. That's what it does. And for people to be blind to that fact, it's really disheartening. So I'm sure I'll talk about this in another video. Actually, I'm positive that I'll talk about this in another video, but this is just something that, I have been watching, and it's funny watching it because I've done so much research on it that everything that they're saying is stuff that I've already found for myself. And, it's just, I can't wait until our generation is older, because really it's the older generation that's doing this. There are very few people in our generation who, I could literally smoke. Most of the people who I know smoke most, or have at least once. Like when my generation gets older, this will certainly change. I have no doubt, but it's just right now, it's just a really frustrating time. Anyways, I'm done.